Hello, everyone. My name is Abdurrahman. My nickname is Kuri because I'm half Korean, half Egyptian, and born in the US. أنا بكلم عربي برضه بس عشان في جمهور أجانب هكلم إنجليزي ولو في أي حد عنده سؤال بالعربي أنا موجود ممكن تسألوني بالعربي وهجاوب على طول. But in the meantime, I'm going to speak in English so people can understand from different nationalities. So the topic today is going to be time lapse. Before I start, I'm a Sony Alpha ambassador. I'll be here today and tomorrow in the Sony booth. If any questions you guys need, any requests for photography tips, I'm always there. So today is about time lapse. Okay, I'm going to show you two videos really fast. One I did in 2014 and one I did in 2022. It's a big difference. Why time lapse is it's really good for your photography skills or photography production. It's because you shoot raw images, right? In each image, right now we have 60 megapixel resolution. It can come out to 6K quality in TVs, 6K quality in post-processing. And it's a niche market. You'll find, like for example, in Netflix, there's a series called Chef's Table. In the introduction, it's time lapse. In most of the videos, like movies, Hollywood movies, there's time lapse. In my production, for example, I shoot for Decathlon. I shoot for cars like Citroën, Mini Cooper. I put time lapse in these videos. It gives this nice time travel in a very short time of a distance. All right. I'm going to show you a video. It's about Egypt because in 2013 we had a troubled time in Egypt. People were talking about there was the downsize of Egypt. So I want to show the beauty of the country. And this is a time lapse, 2014. So DK time-lapse on Masr, I tried to cover the beauty of the country. It was a long time ago. So then Sony came in. We did a project after 2020, and we said, Kuri, we want to show more time lapses about Egypt. But I said, okay, how can I make it better? How can I challenge myself? As you see right now, if I have a video, I cannot shoot the time lapse. I cannot shoot the sunrise and that beauty of this, like the sunrise coming up from the horizon, coming up very slowly, and you can see the clouds changing the colors. If you shoot on a video, like a normal video, it's not going to give you that beautiful effect. It's the time lapse. So again, these mediums gives you really nice imagery. It can help you in either you're a social media content creator or a film production or anything like this. It will enhance your work. Next video, it's going to be more shorter, is moonlight and nighttime in the White Desert in Egypt. اوكي المشروع ده كان اسمها Egypt Scapes. كنت عايز اصور landscapes مصر بالطريقه دي. So I can see at the A ليه time lapse. It's beautiful medium format. Quality بتاعتها it's extraordinary. Okay. ف again, it's a niche market. It's expanding, and the level of production is really high. Sorry. So this is a mini ad campaign I did a long time ago. Again, I use time lapse in this. You can see right now. You can see I'm using time lapse for the car inside with the motion crane. I'm going to tell you how I do this, okay? And again, the stars is moving, and you have this nice car and the reflection of the stars on it. Again, there's another campaign I did for myself with Citroën. So it's me, and you can see the White Desert again and the car. It's good for the production for any kind of production. If you're traveling, and I guess there's Shady here, Shady Nasr. He's an icon, a photographer. He came back from Norway. I came back from Norway. If you can shoot time lapse for this, it's an amazing effect. You can see, look, it's beautiful aurora borealis. Again, everything is in time lapse. All right, and this is a decathlon campaign. Again, it's a campaign. I'm shooting the tent under the stars, showing that people are adventurous and camping. So you can see this nice time lapse. So everything is, and this is an image. This is one picture of the time lapse. So you have a picture, you can post it online, and you have a video, you can post it online. So you have two worlds in one day of shooting, okay? And yeah. Another thing, a different kind of time lapse, which is called stop motion. All right. Sony, they told me, Kuri, we want a post showing your gear. Okay. Most of us, like ambassadors, show what you have in your backpack. So okay, I want to do something different. I don't want to make a picture. I want to do something really cool. So I said, okay, let's do something nice. So this is what I did. What's in my bag? Again, creativity. Time lapse is really amazing. You can always play creativity with time lapses. All right, so in any production, anything like photography or videography or anything, there's always 3 phases. You have the pre-production, production, and the post-production. I'm gonna go very fast. I don't wanna bore you with text. So, okay, let's say we all go together to the desert, okay? And we wanna shoot Milky Way. So we have to make a plan. We have to make a story of how we're gonna shoot the Milky Way. Shot list. Are we gonna go near the lake or we're gonna go near the mountain? We have to study where, okay? Search for location and scouting. Schedule your plan and your equipments. Make sure everything in your bag is very well equipped. So here, as you see that in the Egyptscapes, remember the video with the nighttime? This was over there. So I go there and I shoot during daylight because at nighttime, you won't see anything, all right? So you always scout at daytime and you see, this is a nice figure. I can make a time lapse over there. The moon is going to be behind it. That's the picture I want. So take the picture and put it in your itinerary. I'm going to explain this in the end. So this is an application. I can see the Milky Way, and this is the mountains. And this is like me. Sorry, it's a bit windy. So I'm holding my phone. So time lapse is going to be over here. You can see 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's going to finish at 4 o'clock. So now I can plan my shots because when you go there, you don't know what's going to happen. So you have to plan. Okay, this is the Milky Way. It's going to go from here to here, from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning. So you put your tripod and you put your camera and you start to shoot time lapse. Okay, equipments for static. What do you mean static? So most of my shots are like with a crane in motion, but this one is like a tripod. Just have a tripod, a camera, and a wide lens. And intervalometer right now, I guess every camera has an intervalometer inside, okay? ND filters is very important. I'm going to show you why. Gaffer tape is like a tape, Scotch tape, but it doesn't leave residue on your equipments. And the last thing is sandbag. You don't need the sandbag because if you go to Iceland, it's very windy. The gust is very strong. If you put your tripod, your camera, and the wind pushes it, it's going to all fall down and break your camera and lens. So we need to make it more heavier. So this picture is one of the Egypt HD time lapse. I used an ND filter, but my ND filter is not the whole thing. It's half-half. So basically, half is dark and half is transparent. I put the half on the sunset on the horizon, so it makes it dark. And the bottom, it's normal exposure. So it makes the exposure more equal, okay? And these are images from my time lapse. Same thing. I have the sunset and it makes it down more natural exposure. So this is a motion time lapse. So I have a crane. There's 2 companies that make this kind of really good motion time lapse, Dynamic Perception and Kessler Crane, but I like Kessler Crane more. So this is how I shot this shot. I have 2 tripods and a crane. The camera goes up. And this is the shot that I got. Again, that's my setup at night. And this is the outcome in the end. This is in Alexandria, my hometown in Egypt. So this is the filter I was talking about. You see in the top, it's dark. And in the bottom, it's transparent. I just match it because when the sun comes up, it's going to be very high exposed. In the top part, it's going to be dark, and the bottom part is going to be normal. So it makes it really good image. If you do it in post-processing, you always play with the highlights. You're going to see the picture is going to get destroyed. So this is much more natural and much more powerful in post-processing. Here, I choose time lapse. Okay, let's say we go outside and we shoot time lapse outside, and there's a clear sky. It's going to be a very boring time lapse. The best thing about time lapse is motion, either stars, either traffic jam. So here in the Alexandria Library, there's people going and coming back a lot. So I take the exposure of the people going, moving a lot. So the more you have motion, like clouds, cars, it's going to be much more interesting. But something very normal, like, okay, desert and no sky, it's boring, okay? So always choose a nice motion path. All right, so this is a shot in Egyptscapes when you saw the second video. So I planned my shot here. I put all my camera. I know the moon is going to come, and then it's going to go away. So the moonrise is going to come up, so the moon's going to show the whole landscape, and still I have stars. So there, I use my motion of the moonlight. It's showing, I can show you the video again one more time. So here, my motion was the moon and the stars. So you always think of what kind of motion you're looking for. And again, always plan it before, and then you shoot at night. Because if you shoot at nighttime, it's going to be very difficult to see where you're going, putting the tripod. It's going to be very difficult for you. All right. Shooting process. Manual. Time-lapse is always manual. Never do any automatic, ever. Custom white balance, because you shoot during a long time of the day. So say, for example, sunset. 5 o'clock, the weather is something. 6 o'clock, the weather is something. So always make it one color, custom color. Raw, manual focus, of course, and then you set up your camera with a shutter, ISO, and aperture. And of course, the composition. The composition is the most important thing, because if you aim it wrong, the camera, time-lapse is going to be terrible. You always have to make it very nice, okay? Of course, I don't want to say the rule of thirds. It's about your vision, how you want to make it. It's up to you. Again, how things move is very important. This is the main thing for me in time-lapse, how everything's going to move and how you're going to anchor your shot, okay? Determine the duration of sequence. What does that mean? Okay, so example, if something is moving really fast, I have to make my time-lapse more faster. If I'm shooting like the sun moving, it will take so much time. Or a plant, I put a seed of a plant, it grows very slowly. So I shoot, for example, one picture every 10 minutes. Construction, for example. I'm going to see like someone's going to make a construction in 5 hours. I'm not going to shoot every 2 seconds. No, every 5 minutes, I take one picture. So it's very important how many seconds you do for a time lapse. And determine the interval. If you don't understand time lapse, you take a picture every 5 seconds, for example. But it has to be equal. You cannot take a picture like 5 seconds, and then 7 seconds. No, it has to be 5 seconds between one picture to another. And then you combine it and to make a video. In the end of the day, anything moving, like a video, is 24 frames per second. So to make 1 second of a video, you have to make 24 images. So if you want to make 10 pictures, how much image do I need? How much? So 240, right? 24 seconds, 24 images, 1 second. So 10 seconds is 240 so a picture, okay? Inside an application called PhotoPills. It's a really good application for you. It gives you sunset, sunrise, the moon calendar. It's a very good application. And again, it can tell you, like, help you out as a table. If a fast-moving cloud, you make interval 1 second. If it's sun moving across clear sky, 20 or 30 seconds. It's like a cheat code for you to make it into a time lapse. It's a very nice way of helping you out for making a time lapse. Make sure format your card. I do this mistake all the time. I put the card, I do the time lapse, it finishes very, very soon. What the hell? I forgot to format the camera because it is always full. Always format your SD card, charge your batteries, backup files, clean sensor and lenses, and in Astro time lapse, use red light. All right, the Milky Way, which is a lot of people want to shoot Milky Ways, of course. So this is a shot I show you with the application. Remember the application I showed you? This is the same shot that I got, okay? These are shots of the Milky Way. All right? Okay. First thing is check the moon calendar. If you want to shoot Milky Way, you check the moon calendar. Oh, when there's no moon, you go out to the desert. And try to go away from light pollution. What does light pollution mean? City. Try to go far away from the city as much as you can. The more further away, the more darker the sky, the more better the Milky Way will show. Okay? Scout for location with no light pollution. Look for a spot. Study the Milky Way path with the application. Okay, right now I went late at dark. I had work, so I went there in the desert. I'm at night. Where's the Milky Way? I don't know. So you open your application. Ah, it's over here. You put your tripod, you take that picture, okay? Set the camera and turn everything off, no lights. The settings. This setting is going to apply anytime, anywhere for the Milky Way, all right? So again, manual mode, custom white balance. I usually make it 3600 Kelvin. Manual focus. When you focus manually, you go to infinity and you go back a little bit so you can make the stars sharp. Your aperture, I prefer you have a lens 2.8, of course. And I use 1635, 1224, depending on your camera brand. Your shutter speed is 30 seconds. ISO is 3200. Do this, and you have the Milky Way, all right? All right. Sometimes you want to do shoot from day to night, okay? There's an aperture mode, so you just make your aperture mode. You keep on shooting. The camera is going to change the shutter by time, or a manual method. Leave the Bramper thing. It's very old school. But when you do that, you have flickers because the light changes, shutter speed changes. So you're going to have a post-processing with applications, which is going to be a very hard process, but the video is going to be amazing. So LR Timelapse is one of the best softwares to solve this. And manual mode, just with Adobe. You take the sunset and you take the night and you blend in together. So you have the sun sets and then the nighttime. So you have two worlds in one image. These are applications for this time-lapse, but I recommend you always photo pills. It gives you a planning. Say, for example, I'm going to Scotland. I never went to Scotland. I can have a planner. I can know where's the sunset and sunrise if I'm not there. Say, for example, I'm going Faroes Island, and there's a lighthouse, okay? I want to shoot the lighthouse during a sunset. Where should I stand? I can know it from the planner. It's a really nice application. The night augmented reality, that's how I see the Milky Way. And then you have the moon calendar, which is important to know, go to the desert to get the Milky Way or not. If you want to shoot the moon, if you want to shoot with the full moon, you can see it here in the schedule. And then you have the planner as I mentioned, okay? Post-production, very straightforward. I take my raw files, put it in Lightroom, I color correct it, I export it to JPEG, and then I put it back to Premiere Pro. But when you put it in Premiere Pro, there's a small button down there. Put it as sequence, so in order. So sequence number, you put in Premiere Pro, you have it one nice video, and then you export it H.264 for social media or MOV for TVs and stuff like that. I'm finished. That was fast. Guys, have any question? Sorry? I can't hear you, sorry. Photo pills. Photo pills is the best application for you. I don't want anyone to move because there is a prize on the chair that you're sitting. So if you want to move, okay, but you're going to lose your prize. So I recommend you not to move. Yes, please.
I've noticed that you said 2.8 as
Yes.
The aperture.
Yeah.
What will happen if I go lower than that?
1.4.
1.4.
Better and better. You can
that's still even
less
better?
ISO. But usually no one has a lot of 1.4s, so I make it 2.8 just to make it easy.
Would you recommend the 20 millimeter 1.8?
Yes. 20 is okay. It's not bad. But I always like to go make it wide so I can have the nice view.
Yeah, I have a question for the processing. How long usually you take to make these movies? Do you take long time to do it, or how much time does it take from you?
Post-processing?
Yes.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of heavy machinery post-processing because I shoot 1,500 pictures. Why? You said, Kuri, only 240 pictures, right, for 10 seconds. But sometimes things happen during the shoot. Like if I shoot only a certain time, it's okay. But I always stretch my timeline, and I take all this, and I post-process it, and of course, hard drives, a lot of hard drives. But the more you have sceneries, the more it's better you can choose from it.
My question about the beginners about the time lapse.
Okay,
How about the normal tripod? It will be easier or?
very easy. And that's the best one.
Oh, thank you.
Leave it the motion thing. But if I were you, I want to take some nice. I'll go to like a bridge, and you have the cars. Just put the camera, 2 seconds, shutter speed. You adjust your camera, of course, and then you have this nice cars are moving in and out. And then you have another place with a building, anything moving, people like moving around, like make it half a second. And if you, it will be interesting during daylight as well, because the sun coming down and daylight, you can make aperture priority. So you can always play with time lapse. The most important thing, the settings, manual focus, everything's manual.
Just comment on Ali's question. Are you processing each photo alone or processing bulk?
Oh, so bulk. Let's say we're going to shoot the cars. I stay there, I put it, I shoot for like an hour. Okay? After I finish, I take all this 1,000 picture, I make in my Lightroom the car shot or the bridge shots. Okay? I put it everything in the Lightroom. This 1,000 pictures I put in my Lightroom, and I just color correct one picture, only one picture, and then I take it and I apply all the 1,000 picture, and then I export all the 1,000 pictures.
What about changing condition of the shot, transition from day
Day
to
to
night?
night, yes. Another shot with the bridge. I'm shooting day, like from, right now it's sunset 5. You shoot from 4 to 5, okay? You finish, you change, you turn off the camera, and then you make 6 to 7 or to 8. You take these two files, you have one video and one video. And you make it, and you try to make it transition, like opacity. Decrease opacity, and then you put other night shots. So it's the same bridge, okay?
So
But you
taking two sequence.
Yes, two sequence.
One in the day, one in the night.
Or aperture priority, but you have to have LR time lapse, because with LR time lapse, with aperture priority, you can see flickering. You know the light coming in and out, because it's aperture priority. The shutter speed is going to change. Sometimes it sees it dark, sometimes it sees it not dark. So it will come up, it will go up, and sometimes go down, up and down. So LR time lapse is going to make everything smooth and even, but that's a lot of process. So I rather do the manual, easier.
Okay, thank you.
No problems.
Hi. What is your best Sony lens for the time lapse?
12-24.
The most one that you use?
12-24.
One?
12,
12?
24, 2.8. Because I have 12.
Okay.
It's really wide.
Uh-huh.
Distortion very less.
Okay.
It's a sharp lens. It's a very good lens.
Thanks. Thanks.
Any questions? You guys enjoyed the presentation? All right. Thank you. All right. Okay. So we're going to do هنعمل زي سحب. Okay. والرقم هيطلع. You can see the numbers on the chair. Hopefully you guys, everyone is a winner, but there's only 3 winners بس. We will have a gift. Well, we'll see right now. LED nan light. It's a very nice one. بلاش منظمين لو سمحت. 5. مبروك. You speak English or Arabic? English or Arabic? Both. You can put it in your room. You can play with it like a lightsaber. Zoo, zoo, zoo. It's very nice. Congrats. Oh, nice one. If tomorrow I have a workshop, it's about portraits. I'm over there. If you need anything, I'll be in the booth, Sony. And thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for listening.